Hey, what's up guys? It's Pixelated-Apollo. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you guys are ready for another battle in Medieval Kingdoms Total War 1212 AD. And you're probably sitting there wondering, what is wrong with your voice, Apollo? I have no idea. I don't know. I just woke up. I feel fine. I don't feel sick. My voice was just like, nah, not today. Today you're not gonna sound normal. So I hope it's not too annoying. But the good news for you is that I might get a bunch of voice cracks in this video, so that's something that you guys enjoy, so yay. But yeah, this was a really cool battle. I played this one live on my Twitch account, so I do want to give a big thank you to all the people who joined me in this battle and all the viewers who stopped by. If you guys want to watch me stream and you're not following me, there's a link in the description, so check it out. I do appreciate it. And this one's going to be really awesome because the funds are lower than normal, so you're going to see a lot of units that are low tier. So you're going to see a lot of units that you wouldn't normally see. So it feels a little bit more authentic, you know, like armies weren't just full of elite troops. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, also I told the players to pick factions that are not commonly used. So we're going to see some factions that are, well, not commonly used. So I am commanding the Kingdom of Georgia. See, that's the great thing about my voice. It sounds a lot deeper, so I can be like more dramatic, I guess. I don't know. Here is my ally, Kievan Rus. Kievan Rus. And then we are taking on the Empire of Nicea. And then their ally is the Ayyubid Sultanate. So yeah, pretty cool factions. Let's go ahead and check out the army comps. Now, I don't know how to pronounce most of these names, but I'm going to pretend like I do. So in the front lines, I've got 3 units of these Savian hunters, which they're low tier, but they're not peasants. You know, they're not the worst archer unit. I also have 1 unit of elite troops to kind of lead the archer force. These guys can also go into melee. It's the Manaspa foot archers. And then back here, I have 4 units of the swordsman unit, Kevsir swordsman. Very interesting looking army. Not exactly flashy and cool looking, but hey, they're well equipped and they're ready to go. And then for the rest of my swordsmen, I have 2 units of these Tadzarili swordsmen, which is actually a really cool looking unit. Love it. Love the uniforms. Of course, they've got capes, so style points there. And then I've got 4 units of this really cheap spear unit. And spears, you know, it's okay if you bring cheap spears. Just make sure you charge them into good situations like killing cav and whatnot. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my infantry. For my cav, I have my general over here. It's the Manaspa guard. And I think, yep, here's the general. Looking good. Nice silver fox there. And then the rest of my cav, I have some of these Azar or something lancers. Again, very cheap lancer cav. It's actually, they're considered melee, medium melee. And then I have 2 units of the Tadzarili. This is a heavy shock cav. So moving on to my ally, he's got 3 units of Devor, very deadly, very elite archer force for Kievan Rus. He's got 1 unit of Rus heavy spear militia, and then 3 units of Rus spearmen. And then he's got 1 unit of the Moldovan warriors and 3 units of dismounted Drazina. Back here, he has the Vityaz, the heavy shock cav. And he's got some senior Drazina. So awesome. I love the fur. I love just the scale armor, the swords, or the shield here, the teardrop shield. And then here is his general. So that's his army. Very small force. So you'll see that most of the players here went with small but elite armies. I went with just kind of a middle ground where it's big but not super elite. The Empire of Nicea, bringing the Mortatoi, the very deadly composite bow. They're pretty good. You can see they got shields on their backs, so they can go into melee and do pretty well. And then for his swordsmen, he's got 3 units of the Skutatoi swordsmen. And the flanks, he's got these Skoutatoi or Skutatoi spearmen. I'm probably not even close, but let's just pretend I am. And then he's got this really cool, like, long spear or pike infantry, or short pikes, I guess you could say. Contieratoi, I think. They look really cool. Can't wait to see them in action today. And then for his cav, he's got this cav unit. It's a medium melee cav. And then back here, he's got a couple units of, he's got another one of that unit. And then he's got the cataphractoi over here, the heavy tanks of the medieval world. And then his general is the Spathiari Guard, which is a really cool unit, but I don't really like putting my general on foot. But look at this guy. This guy is peacocking. Look at that. He's got peacock feathers across there. So he's got Jesus on his side. He's feeling it. He's feeling it today. So this, well, now moving on to his ally, which is the Ayyubid Sultanate. He's got about 3 units of Ghulam Foot Guard. Very similar to the Devor. They're very good archers. Back here, he's got about 2 units of Jund Spearmen. Okay unit, you know, the infantry for this faction is not very good. They got a couple good units though. He's also got some Jund Spearmen, or Swordsmen, I'm sorry, and then some Mamluk Tabadoria. So this unit's actually really good. I think there's a limit on how many you can get because they're so good. And then here is the Nafatuns. And for his cav, he's got his Sultan's Bodyguard. And back here, he has the Askari Nobles. So I think 3 or 2 units of them. And he also is bringing artillery. So he's got 1 catapult here. So we can do normal speed. Begin this battle. Alright, so now is the time to start talking about strategy. So if we look here, the Ayyubid Sultanate, they're going for the hill. Very reasonable decision. Taking the high ground is very smart in these kinds of battles. But he's leaving his ally high and dry. So this will give us a really good opportunity to double team him, and that will convince him to get off the hill. That's one thing. That's one great way to defeat a hill camper, especially in team battles, or really only in team battles, is that you want to double team his ally. That will kind of get him to panic and just be like, oh crap, I need to help him out. I need to leave this, you know, terrain position, this hill to support him. If he doesn't move, that's okay. We'll just defeat his teammate and then march together to take out him. Because, you know, you gotta fight united. Fight united or die. Very simple Total War facts right there. So yeah, this map's a little interesting with terrain, but I kind of like it. My troops are getting hit with artillery. You can see some of my men are taking some pretty big hits there. So whenever I'm fighting a catapult, it seems to get the most ridiculous hits against me. And then whenever I have a catapult, it's like, meh, I'll kill like 2 guys. Like, that's it. Oh, look at, what the heck? The ball is like rolling, the catapult, like, boulder is rolling and like hitting. Oh, that's weird. You would think my men would not be phased by a rolling ball there, rolling stone. Rolling Stones, great band. But yeah, I'm moving up my army, and I realized that now is the time. I told my ally, push, and we will take him out. We do have some cav moving out, so the Byzantine Empire, aka the Empire of Nicea. Look at these cataphracts, man. They are so nice. They're going in. It looks like we're gonna have a nice cav battle. Here we go. Yes. The most terrifying part of a medieval battle is just the cav charging in very fast speeds. Alright, we can see the armies forming up back there. We're not quite in range of his infantry. We can see more cav moving in, but I have my cav moving in back there. But let's just stay and focus on this fight. So we also have some arrows coming in, so he is getting some friendly fire into this cav engagement. Will it be worth it shooting his own men? But he's got some spears close behind to support his cav, his cavalry. So there they go. And the Empire of Nicea, they don't really have a lot of archers, and he realizes that. I do have my infantry kind of waiting in position with their little buckler shields there. So not quite ready to charge in, just kind of waiting for this cav situation to die down a little bit. My ally was winning this engagement, so that is really good because we don't have to worry about his cav anymore. And then we can just focus on charging in our infantry. And then check this out, guys. All right, we're going to do some slow motion here because this is super vital. All right, first let's watch this charge because, you know, we got to watch the charge. All right, here comes my heavy cav. This is my elite cav coming in. Taking out some of his archers. Such a beautiful sight. This is a really cool battlefield. There we go. Yes. Destroy their hopes and dreams. Oh, some friendly fire from some arrows. You know, it happens. What can you do? That's war, crossfire. But yeah, so you notice here that he's given up. He's like, no, I know what they're doing, and they're trying to double team me, and I gotta get to my ally. You don't let him do this. Never, ever let him group up with his ally or things are going to get very difficult. So this is where I sacrifice my very elite Cav. Don't worry, we will have a feast in their name and give them a great war song for their deeds. But I am charging in to slow down his infantry. I am now charging in my infantry, my own infantry, to quickly get into position. Now he is going to get a good Cav charge over here, so let me go ahead and show this. So let's do some normal speed. Oh, that was a terrible Cav charge. That was actually really good for me. And now I have my archers focusing down on this position as well. My swordsmen are doing some damage, but he's going to go ahead and very wisely pull out of there. And I'm going to continue to run down his infantry and slow him down. You are not going to reach your ally. Not today. Oh, yes, there we go. And this Cav unit is pretty good for the Kingdom of Georgia. And then I've got more Cav coming in, trying to slow down the Ayyubid Sultanate, who's trying to do more damage against my infantry. And yes, that was a very brutal charge. But now I got the Askari nobles, well, I got them surrounded. All right, so okay, real quick, again, let's do some slow-mo. That's the thing about these pitch battles, is that they're so fast-paced. So what I'm doing now is that I'm trying to contain the enemy Cav. A lot of my swordsmen are breaking, but that's okay. That's the sacrifice I'm willing to take so I can defeat this army, or defeat the enemies one at a time. My ally, my ally is also charging in some infantry, trying to pin down some of the Empire of Nicea's infantry. He also has his Cav running in the back lines, doing a lot of damage to this pike unit, which is really good. Pikes are really deadly in multiple situations, so you got to take them out quickly. And my Cav is still slowing down. Look at this. My Cav is still alive, trying to slow him down as long as possible. The Ayyubid Sultanate peppering down my forces up here. But again, I'm willing to take the casualties because I'm preventing the Ayyubid Sultanate to join this battle. And we can go ahead and do normal speed here. Normal speed. Alright, there we go. More infantry coming in. It looks like my allies' infantry here. So a lot of fighting all over the place, small pockets of fighting. There's a lot of chaos on the battlefield. That's another reason why we really needed to push and take out this army, because they were so unorganized that there's no proper battle line now, which is in our favor. Oh man, look at this, look at this. This is a battlefield, man. This is so great. Let me just cinematic view. Look at that. Beautiful. I love it. You know, it's great to see some factions that you don't see all the time. And I am pushing up my men here, trying to take out the enemy Cav. And we are doing some damage to the infantry, but he's got a whole nother unit of swordsmen here. And I did commit my more elite Tazaria, or whatever, swordsman. My more elite swordsman into the fight. We do have some catapults coming in, but this could be good because he could get some friendly fire. Just like that, he killed a lot of his own Cav there. He did kill some of my troops too, though. Okay, so again, slow motion here, because this is very important. Let me go ahead and tab out so I can show you what's going on. So you can see my ally is really pushing on this wing right here. So he's got a lot of reserves. He's going to be able to push up behind enemy lines. With my troops, I'm just trying to contain the lines. I'm not necessarily trying to win this, because I know my ally will show up and get some hammer and anvil. And then I am moving in more infantry this way. As you can tell, unfortunately I can't, this is as close as I can zoom in. You can see a lot of Byzantine forces here, and we do have some breaking that we need to send more infantry here to contain them. I have some Cav waiting in the forest here, just in case. I was kind of waiting for these spears, you see these two spears, to charge down, and then I would have charged my Cav and get some hammer and anvil. But unfortunately, I think he saw the trap, and he's not going to go for it. Oh, sorry. That's the wrong way to get out of there. Alright, slow-mo, or normal speed. Alright, so here's this big blob of Empire of Nicea soldiers. So we're trying to contain them, trying to surround them. You can see my spearmen back there. Again, my spearmen are not good. They are not good, but I'm using them to flank around and support wherever there's any weak spots. And look at that charge. That was awesome. The Empire of Nicea is so desperately trying to hold on for dear life. You can see the general is right here, and I'm actually sniping at the general with my archers. You can see all my archers back there. Well, most of them, I think, are focusing down on the general for the Empire of Nicea, which is, he's somewhere in the mix. He's actually breaking. So yeah, it's working. It's working. There you go. And they are breaking from the fight. And just, you know, the general losing there, he loses his morale, and most of his troops are breaking from the fight. Let's see. Oh, here comes a charge from the Ayyubid Sultanate. So finally, he's committing his forces. I do form a shield wall, but there's just so many of them. And this is where I activate my cav and try to get some hammer and anvil. He realizes that I am surrounding him with my cav, so he's going to quickly try to get out of there. But I should be able to get a good charge here. Yes. Yes, and I'm going to slow down that swordsman unit. And now we can move on to the Ayyubid Sultanate. He left his teammate high and dry in that situation, and he didn't respond quick enough. So the balance of power is looking pretty good for us, and my cav is excited about all the killing. Now he did charge in his Sultan's bodyguard, which again is great news, because now I can focus him down with archers. You got to be careful with your generals, and you don't want to send them too close to the front line, or they will get focused down by archers. Oh yeah, look at that. Sultan bodyguard, where are you going, man? Where are you going? Oh, what a fight. Beautiful fight. He is trying to retreat back up to the high ground. He did defeat my cav, but they served their purpose. My spearmen are really depleted, but again, they served their purpose, and I will remember them this day for their brave actions. They made the ultimate sacrifice for the glory of the Kingdom of Georgia. Now, most of my army is pretty banged up, but my allies' army is looking great, looking really good. And this is what's left of the Ayyubid Sultanate. A very small army taking on a very large, united army. So here's my ally charging in his cav, trying to take out the Ayyubid Sultanate. You see some of the face mask on the soldiers, which is really cool. Here comes another cav force charging in, going after the Ghulam foot guard, which is the archer unit. Ah, yes. Oh, what is that? Oh, it's the Nafatoons. The Nafatoons. Oh, but the pots aren't exploding. They're rolling down this hill. Are they going to explode? Look at this. Do you see this? It's like Indiana Jones, but really small and explosive. Are they going to blow up? No. Oh, no. Looks like we had a spy go into their camp and, you know, or got rid of all the explosive oils. But here comes some cav of mine flanking around. This is another unit of my lancers, the very cheap cav. So I'm just looking for a good opportunity to get a good hammer and anvil. He is chasing them down with spears, but that's okay. I'm just not going to engage and make him run around this unit. That's one less unit of infantry to worry about. And then here comes the rest of the forces. We are breaking through his army, and now we're engaging the Nafatoons, which is not good for them. Those Nafatoons need to stay in the back. They need to stay protected. But yeah, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Here comes yeah, some breaking troops. They're just crumbling. Here comes a charge from my cav. And the archers back here, beautiful. His spears were not able to catch up. He's going to try to enclose, though, and try to surround my cav. Here comes another charge from my ally. Oh, beautiful. Good cav action here. I love it. And more the troops are breaking. The Ghulam foot guard, they cannot take it any longer. They can clearly see defeat in today's battle. And yep, it looks like that's going to be it, guys. That is a close victory, and that is how you deal with a hill camper. So hopefully this one was, you know, it was a shorter battle, but hopefully it was full of tactics and strategy and whatnot. Really fun battle. I really enjoyed this one. So let's end the replay and look at the results here. So, well, this will give you a good view of what to expect from lower tier units. My archers did really well, especially comparing them to enemy archers. He got 0 kills. All that money he spent on those archers got him nothing. And I don't remember the price of these guys. I think it was around 200 or 300, which is really cheap for an archer unit. And they did their job. They even sniped out some generals. Also, this more expensive archer did pretty good too. I mean, look, I mean, compare these lower tier archers to the elite archer, not that much worse. Let's see, rest of my army. Again, my cav here, this is really cheap cav getting 80 kills. This one only got 20, but that's okay. And then here's my more elite cav, one of them getting 163, which I think is the most kills. So yeah, my infantry doing okay. You know, nothing too crazy. They just did their job. My spears did all right. And my general did really well as well. I think I was focusing my general towards the Nicea general. So I was using the fast-moving cav because he is a bow cav. And then Gladi over here, he was my ally. 337 kills with his cav and the other cav unit, Senior Drazina. He did a really, really good job just mowing down enemy forces. His archers did pretty good. His infantry, his spears did terrible, but they didn't really necessarily see a lot of action. They're still very healthy. And his swordsmen did pretty good there. So very cool. And then here's the Empire of Nicea. They did alright. Their cav just got wiped out early, same with his archers, and that was really the downfall of his forces. And then the Ayyubid Sultanate, the catapult got a lot of kills there, but it wasn't enough. His cav doing okay, Tabaderia doing pretty well, but they had to do a lot better. So yeah, definitely really small armies, guys. I was trying to get them to pick units that were cheaper, but instead they just got a bunch of elite, you know, units. So whatever, you know, it's a different perspective nonetheless. So thank you guys so much for watching this battle. It truly means a lot for you guys to stop by every day, say hello, watch the videos. It means a lot to me, and I have a blast doing this. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you next time.